You're listening to Hotepish with your host, Dwan B. Intelligent ish talk, intelligent shit talk, where we balance the profound with the profane. Political satire, celebrity and expert guests, information and entertainment, conversation and solutions. Leave your feelings at the door.
What's up, you motherfuckers, you? We are here live. We are here live with that intelligent-ish talk, that intelligent shit talk. What's up, y'all? We ain't gonna be here too long today. I just wanted to check in with y'all because I ain't talked to y'all in a couple days. Somebody said 1 hour till 4:20 in DC. Shit, I don't wait till 4:20. I get it in. What's up, everybody? What's up, Poppin'? What's up, Dante? What's up, Knockout? What's up, Eastwood? Mr. Trey Day 90, the first person to say something today. What's up, Legion of Knicks? Remy, Dub, Cold Crush. Now, I'm not going to read that comment. What's up, Ty Ward? Yeah, we are here. We are here. We are here for the random shit talk. I didn't have one thing in particular I wanted to go in today. But I will go into talking about a few things I saw that were interesting on the news. What's up, Ramon James? What's up, Legion of Knicks? Bad Seed coming in from Long Beach. Look. Red Fire, you from Albuquerque? God damn. First nigga I've ever seen from Albuquerque. I've been through Albuquerque once. I'm driving down that 40 on the way to Texas. That's like back in the early 90s. Never wanted to go back. Yeah. It is some random shit that's been happening in the news. Mm-hmm. Hey, did y'all hear about this story right here? Browser share. Did y'all hear about this story right here? Roger Stone attacks 50 Cent over Big Meech. In today's what the fuck? Roger Stone The man in love with Nixon who served some time in jail recently is beefing with 50 Cent? Roger Stone is that's Randy Short's boy. Randy Short be writing shit for him and help like forwards in his book. I don't, you know, I'm not against Roger Stone, you know. Is he a white supremacist? Probably. Maybe. But he's the kind of white supremacist that knows how to leave black people the fuck alone. You know what I mean? Except for right here. Mm-hmm. Right-wing political operative Roger Stone slams 50 Cent and accuses him of exploiting incarcerated former drug kingpin Big Meech. 5 years ago, 50 Cent announced that he was producing a movie based on the Black Mafia family drug cartel, headed up by Detroit brothers Demetrius Big Meech Flannery and Terry Southwest T. Flannery. This week, in a video posted online, Roger Stone berated 50 Cent for bragging about getting Big Meech's sentence reduced while paying him peanuts for his life rights. Stone ended his rant shouting, "Free Big Meech now." Oh, that boy Roger Stone is a troll. Right here, this look.
How is he 3 years knocked off his sentence?
Let me start that back.
The fact is, his co-conspirators, his brother and another man who had the exact.
Let me just take it to the YouTube channel. Here it is.
Who had the exact same sentence have already.
Let me go back to the beginning so you can hear this.
Hey, 50 Cent, I got a beef with you. You're crowing about Big Meech getting a lousy 3 years knocked off his sentence? The fact is, his co-conspirators, his brother and another man who had the exact same sentence have already been sprung. You ripped Big Meech off. You got $150 million from Stars to make a movie about his life, and you paid him shit for his life rights. You're full of shit. Free Big Meech now.
If that ain't the most random beef. Hey, look. 50 Cent is a major troll. He's a major troll. So watching him get trolled by this motherfucker is just funny as hell to me. What's up, W? New sub? Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, Roger Stone, maybe. Roger Stone's probably the single-handedly the most responsible for Donald Trump being president. Roger Stone tried to have Trump run back in the 80s. That's how long he been fucking with Trump. And Roger Stone knew how to use the race element to get Trump in the office. But nah, this is some trolling shit. And at 50, as much as you troll, dog, you have no reason to ever, you can't say shit. Matter of fact, 50 said you won't say shit. You know, somebody said, oh, you just said it in the chat room. Dude, Bring the Smoke said 50 don't say shit to white folks anyway. I was just about to say that. Roger Stone, dog, you can say whatever the hell you want, because 50 don't ever have heat for white folks. He's a pet. And it's very obvious. When it comes to other niggas, 50 he king troll. When it comes to white folks, 50 be like, yazza bowser. I had to close my window. My old loud ass neighbor is waking up. God damn, my neighbor loud. I think she home from work. Shit. She has a horrible voice too. You know, some people got that. I don't like women in their 50s with cigarette voices. She got that, you left your car open. You left your car kind of pulled out there last night. I wanted to, it's a little far out. I didn't have no space to get around it. Well, if you get rid of your cigarette voice, you might be able to drive a little bit better then. She got one of them voices like this, and then when she get to talking, it'd be all up in the microphone. I'm like, so I had to close the window so my cigarette voice neighbor wouldn't be all up in y'all ear like that. Oh, Wheezy Jefferson sounded nice. But yeah, white folk, 50 don't say shit to white people. He don't say shit to white folks. Look at this other news of the day. This New York City psychiatrist said white people steal everything. She goddamn right. She's over here talking about like, hey, look, man, I talk to these motherfuckers and they worst of ours. And these motherfuckers ain't shit. Let's listen to what she said.
There are no good apples out there. White people make my blood boil. When you say there are no good apples out there, what kind of claim are you making?
I'm talking about people have this idea that racism is something that if you're consciously racist or if you're a Klan member, and I'm sort of making the claim that racism is something that is unconscious and it is actually in everyone, and everyone uses these words systemic. They're like, I know that racism is systemic, and yet individually when you call them out, they'll be like, well, it's not me, you can't say that. And so there's a disconnect between use of the word systemic and saying that racism is everywhere, but the moment you point it out individually, there's sort of people disown their own violence and racism.
Would it be fair to say, based on your expertise, that white people are psychopathic?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I think that there's many lies that, and didn't get to that part because what I delivered was only part of a first series of talks. But the level of lying that white people do that has started since colonialism, we're just used to it. Such as every time that you steal a country, you loot, you say you've discovered something. I mean, this level of lie is actually part of history. We don't say that we.
Y'all see Mark Lamont Hill coon ass getting all tight? He wasn't expecting this. Somebody in the chat room real quick asked they want to protest by their house. What are you at? What I recommend? I personally don't protest, so I'm not the best person to ask about getting picket signs and protesting. I personally don't do that. I'm about the business of ending white supremacy daily, so I don't, when it comes to protesting, that's when, I'm not the person to ask about protesting. I've never been to a protest. I've never organized a protest. I'm 100%, I'm 99.9999999% sure you'll never see me at anyone's protest either. So I am not the person to ask in the chat room. I am not the person to ask about organizing a protest. That's not how I get down. I speak in other ways against the system of white supremacy. But I'm gonna finish this. But y'all see here, we this for those who just joining in. This is a Mark Lemoyne Hill interviewing this doctor that looked like she's from somewhere where Kamala Harris came from about no good apples of white folks. And it's the way she explaining it. You see how Mark Lamont Hill looking all tight? I'm gonna go back to the part where she said ain't no good ones, and look how tight his face looks.
You steal a country, you loot, you say you've discovered something. I mean, this level of lie is actually part of history. We don't say that we killed all these people, we got rid of all the Native Americans. We say we discovered America. you don't talk about the level of death. You don't talk about the level of what actually occurred. You wipe the slate clean, you sanitize the violence, and you actually got lost along the way. You're trying to go to India, and then you say you discovered something. And this level of discovery is everywhere. You've discovered vegetarianism. You know, you've discovered yoga, you've discovered everything is a discovery, and it's all actually stolen.
See, she came out and told the truth. She told a truth that Mark Lamoise Hill is unwilling to tell. Someone asked, do I sell merch? Yes, I do. Hotepish.com. Intelligent Ish Talk, Intelligent Shit Talk. I do sell merch. And here you go. Go to hotepish.com/apparel. Link is in the bio, in the link tree. You can get any of these t-shirts for sale right now. And I got some more coming soon. But she went there, and a lot of non-black people usually aren't willing to go there. They usually the main ones that want to toe the line and talk about and talk as if we're all in this together. Non-black people and mainstream Negroes, and we know Mark Lamoise Hill is a mainstream Negro, and you saw how tight his ass got. As tight as his ass got since the first boy ran up in it. When she said, there are no good apples. Nigga, Mark Lamoise Hill went back. His ass got so tight, he went back to being a booty version. It's been about 20 years since he been one. He went back to being one after that. Man, she was more blunt than most of you niggas out there. I brought that up because it's like when black people talk about race, especially around white people, we be the first ones to put on kid gloves. We be the first ones to put on kid gloves. Aaron, in the chat room, we do not say pause in here. They do that over at Craig Fact because certain niggas is young. I don't pause shit. Pause is for people who got their own little goddamn gay thoughts in their own mind. So they got to pause so they can get their head on straight. Grown at, I just turned 40 last week. Shit, matter of fact, when I was 30, I didn't say pause. Shit, you better goddamn know what the context I'm talking about. You ain't pausing shit. Mark Lamoise Hill, we all know that the road to his success, well, allegedly, I'm not going to say we know, but it looks like it based on the way he act. The road to his success was driven down the Hershey Highway. Mark LaDookie Hill. Fuck him. I don't give a shit about him. He tried to push that narrative that Malcolm was possibly gay, projecting his own inner thoughts. He shitted on Dr. Welsing. I can't find no fucks to give about Mark Lamoise Hill. They got this new little black, so-called black channel with him as the anchor. Anytime you see Mark Lamoise Hill, you know the fix is in. It's going to go to all people of color, and LGBTQ rights are equal to black rights. Anytime he around, Mark Lamoise Hill is around to express dookie love. He is a cancer within black society. But he did make this guest comfortable enough to tell the whole truth. This motherfucker, she told the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So help her God. So help her God. And see, that's something that black folks need to learn. Black people need to learn that if you're going to tell it all the way. Why do we always as a people feel the need to coddle the people who never in a million years will coddle us? They didn't coddle our ancestors. They're not going to coddle our future. But the minute we get to talking racism, people want to go tap dancing around the real. I don't get down like that. Nigga. What did George Clinton say? We want the whole funk, nothing but the funk. That's what we need. Anything less, look, I'm not about to respect people who go around. I'm talking about white folks. White folks don't respect people who skedaddle around the issues. They see tap dancers like Mark Lamoy still as entertainment. Like, look at this soft nigga right here. He can outrun us, outjump us, and if we educated him properly, outsmart us. Yet he over here kissing our ass. We done made this intelligent brother, black person, who could dominate us in all areas of activities if he understood, if he knew better about himself. We done turned him into our footstool. Give him a few more ducats to sell all his people, and we gonna keep him around for a little bit longer. But when we done with him, we gonna throw his ass out to the wolves. Yeah, so I wanted to put that up. What y'all in here talking about? What y'all in here talking about in the chat room? Yeah, somebody earlier asked me about protesting. I don't protest. I've never written a sign, put some stick on it, and held it in the air to walk down Crenshaw and say, hey, protesting has its place. I'm not saying it does not have its place. It definitely has its place. But I am not a part of protesting's place. I understand the system of white supremacy exists, and it exists in all areas of activities, and we all have our own way of approaching it. And I'm not one to shit on other people's ways. Because like the system dominates us and harms us in multiple ways, there are multiple ways to attack the system and counter program it. Protesting is just not my way of doing it. You're right. Oh yeah, Son Kiss said Oprah trying to redeem herself. Yeah, I was watching TV the other day. Oprah had some shit where she was like celebrating black fathers, and I think on a commercial even had one of those, had a tranny on there. They talk about celebrating black fathers, and I'm not sure if it was a woman trying to be a man or a man that's now identifying as woman. I didn't look at the motherfucker long enough to see. I just saw the commercial. And she's celebrating black fathers after she did that shit to Michael Jackson, Bill Cosby, and been screwing over black men since The Color Purple. Fuck Oprah. Like The Color Purple is not a bad movie. It was a good movie. I remember it was one of the first movies I went to go see. I went with my grandmother to see it when it came out at the Baldwin Hills Theater in LA. La Brea and Coliseum, right next to the jungles. I think it was 1986. I was 5 years old, something like that. I remember going with my grandmother to see it and going to sleep in the movie theaters. Oh, movie's over. You know, it's a well done movie. But the purpose of that movie was to rile up black female anger towards the bitter black men in their lives. And ever since Oprah was in that, she been on black men's head ever since, saying that it's a whole bunch of down low dudes running around giving women HIV, calling masculinity toxic. Man, fuck Oprah Winfrey. That old sorry bitch. Looking like Draymond Green. Oprah kind of looked like a more smaller nosed version of Draymond Green. Now she want to get black folks in her good graces. Kiss my black ass, Oprah. And fuck you for bringing around Gayle King, too. Gayle King really does look like a dog-faced bitch. That motherfucker Snoop Dogg was not lying when he said that. She looks like Rolf from the Muppet Babies. She looks like Rolf. Remember Rolf from the Muppet Babies? The dog they used to always play the piano. Gayle King tried to get Lisa Leslie to talk shit about Kobe. And Kobe had just gotten the ground. Gayle King. That's all Oprah. Y'all think I'm lying about her looking like Rolf? All right, look. Y'all remember? Okay, y'all tripping. Y'all don't remember who Rolf was? Oh no, that's the wrong one. Let me get a copy of this. Hold on 1 second. It's off the top of my head. That's happened when you're an improv comic like myself. Everything come off the top of your head. I don't be having this shit planned out. So as I'm thinking of jokes, I have to, let me see here, JPG. I have to make the image a JPEG to put it in here. Look at this. Think I'm bullshitting. Y'all think I'm bullshitting, huh? Okay. You can't tell me these two don't look alike. Look at that. Gayle King. She don't look like Rolf from Muppet Babies. Muppet Babies will do the same for you. When your room looks kinda weird and you wish that you weren't there, just close your eyes and make believe, and you can be anywhere. Muppet, 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 Muppet Babies. That was my shit. Oh, nasty bitch. And I don't need nobody coming around saying, don't call black women bitches. No, black women don't do the shit Oprah and Gayle do to black society. No. Those are bed wenches that take marching orders from the white folks that pay them. Do not conflate them with black women. My wife's a black woman. She would never do that. My mom's a black woman. She'll never do that. My sister, my grandmother. I know black women with respect. I know black women. I got them all around me. Do not conflate these bonehead bastards in the media with real black women. Don't ever do that. I understand why Snoop apologized. He's in a different position than we are. Snoop's part of the mainstream. He has to do what he has to do to navigate those waters. He can apologize all he wants. I'm not. She's still a funky dog-faced bitch to me. And if you go around calling her a black woman, saying I need to treat her with the same respect I treat my wife and my mom, I'm going to say fuck you to you. Flat out. I get tired of these people going around trying to, no, we are not all the same. We are not all the same. I talked about this last week on one of my Facebook and Instagram posts. Hell, we could talk about it now. Let me go back to that post. Where the fuck is that post that I posted? Ooh. Let me see. Where's that post? Where is that post? Here we go. I ended up getting the wrong picture, but we all got it. Denmark VC. Here's the reason why we ain't all the same. When Denmark VC had his revolution planned, he had over 9,000 black people ready to roll. 9,000. People ready to go. All it took was one motherfucker to stop that revolt from going down. One person named George Wilson was loyal to his slave master, snitched, and on June 18th, 1822, Vesey was arrested and later hanged. And the movement ended. One person. Never forget that. We are not all the same. You got black folks that are about the business of ending this terrorist system that we're in called white supremacy. And you have those that want to perpetuate and keep white supremacy going because they sorry black asses don't feel that they're good enough to run a society. We are different. And when a person nominates themselves as somebody different by thwarting our progress, I believe them. And I remember that. I don't say, well, they got the same skin color as me, so we all in this together. Oh, fuck that. Gayle King talked like she got balls in her jaws. Just listen to her talk. I hear it. That's all the fuck you hear when she talk. Is white people are better. Niggas ain't shit. Oh, heavy tongue bitch. I ain't never gonna forget what she did right the minute Kobe died. I'm never gonna forget that. Frog-faced bastard. Just like I'll never forget Mark Lemoy's Hill. These people they put out in the media in front of us ain't shit. Mark Lamont Hill, that weak ass nigga right here. Mark Lamont Hill looks like he bends over for Gayle King. Like Gayle King get her donkey strap and put it around her waist. And put it on Mark Lamont Hill. He like it too. That's why this nigga always trying to conflate gay issues with black issues. Look at this. Ain't that the softest ass picture? This nigga looking like he see Tevin Campbell in the distance and want to smash. Hey Tevin, cool. I'm ready. I'm ready now and then to love forever. This motherfucker Mark Lamont Hill look like he used to beat his meat to Keith Washington videos back in the 90s. Tonight's the night we will share. Hey, I got a story about that too. I remember I was at this party one time. See, these cats in the industry, man, yeah, that's what I'm telling people. Don't be believing everything you see. What's on TV and what happened in person be way different things. It be way different energies. I remember I was at a party just a long time ago, probably like 2012, sometime around there. There was this restaurant in Beverly Hills. The restaurant was called Home. House of Music and Entertainment. It was a black-owned restaurant in Beverly Hills that did not last for too long because one of the investors in it was a bitch-ass nigga that screwed me over. So when I get screwed over, I don't give a fuck. Not the main owners. The main owner, Dennis, he was good. Not you. If you ever hear this down the line, Dennis. Not you. One of your partners was a bitch. Well, anyway, I'm at the restaurant and Keith Washington's there. But it's also a bunch of NBA dudes there because there's some NBA dudes that were investors. And one of the NBA dudes was one of the hoe ass investors. I'm like, oh shit, that's Keith Washington. I remember his song from back when I was a kid and all that shit. He sang with Shantae Moore like when I was in high school. Like, yeah. Keith Washington. Now, that song came out. What? Something About You. Well, that song he did with Shantae Moore, that was a shit. I love you. Something about the way you hold me. Something about you, baby, can't explain. So I'm like, oh shit, I'm about to go say what's up to Keith Washington. Man, I'll get up to him. And there's this big, tall ass 7-foot NBA nigga sitting right there. And this nigga Keith Washington is like, basically like, nigga, fuck you. I got my eyes on this man right here. This nigga was looking so googly-eyed. To the 7-foot nigga. I was just like, okay, let me go the other way. I didn't even say nothing. I just, as I'm walking up and I see him at the bar, I'm like, I'm just gonna say what's up to Keith Washington. I got about 5 feet away, and I saw the way he was looking at old boy. I was like, you know what? Let me just go back the other way. I don't want to interrupt this moment. Yeah, he was on Martin. That was one of the funniest episodes of Martin ever. What's up, Manny G? What's up, M. Moses? Oh, we got somebody with the Honorable Chris Dorner. I like that name. The Honorable Chris Dorner. That's right. Yeah, but this dude right here looked like Mark Lamont Hill looked like, yeah. That nigga look like he looked like he'll lose a fight to Kermit the Frog. Yeah, when I saw the way Keith Washington was looking at that basketball player, he was looking at him like, hey, we could do this dookie thing all night on white sheets. Had a bedroom looking like Andrew Gillum. Yeah, I got gay jokes. So what? All inclusive, right? If we all inclusive, that means you included in these motherfucking jokes. Y'all got a whole president trying to change the government around for your ass. You can take these jokes. You could take a dirty 9-inch dick, motherfucker. You could take a joke. And Mark Lamont Hill look like he get picked on by butch lesbians as an adult. I ain't talking about back when he was a kid. I'm talking about now. This nigga Mark Lamont Hill be in the bar by himself drinking. Next thing you know, some old Lori Lightfoot looking butch come up to him like, this is my seat. And he'll be like, oh, I'm sorry. Let me move. I don't want any problems there. Weak ass nigga. This Mark Lamont Hill was the only nigga that grew up with Luther Vandross posters on his wall, but didn't know Luther Vandross's music. Oh, he sings? Oh, I didn't know that. I just like him. I like him. Fuck Mark Lamont Hill. This nigga right here, selling out black people since day one. I remember, this is probably about 5 or 6 years ago now. Mark Lamont Hill was on Sonetter TV for like 3 minutes. For those who are into the conscious shit, shouts out to Sonetter. I don't listen to too much Sonetter anymore because that nigga always instigating and arguing with motherfuckers. But y'all remember when Sonetter TV used to be out on 125th Street and they would just be recording and uploading to YouTube. Mark Lamont Hill walked by and Sonetter got him to talk for a little bit. And this nigga for about 3 minutes, Mark Lamont Hill was sounding like the most pro-black motherfucker you done ever met. He understood who Dr. John Henry Clark was. He knew all of the information. You could just tell by the questions Sonetter was asking. Mark Lamont Hill was trying not to go too deep. You could tell when he said yes, he immediately regretted it. And as he's answering Sonetter's questions, he's trying to like walk to move on because he's like, you know, he realized after a couple questions that he was around one of the real pro-black channels. And what I got to see in those 3 or 4 minutes was, oh, Mark Lamont Hill knows the real deal. He knows who we are. He understands white supremacy well. Just based on how he answered Sonetter's questions. And then after answering a few questions, he hurried up and ran off. So I knew then, I said, oh, he ain't no dummy. Mark Lamont Hill ain't one of these dudes who don't understand who we are as a people. So he goes around on a white train because he really believes in them and he don't know who we are. He's not one of them. Mark Lamoist Hill knows who we are as a people. He just chooses to be a hoe. This nigga looking like a pick-me for Anderson Cooper. Oh, pick me. Oh, yeah. Barking in my head. I remember him saying that. Yeah, Al Show. I remember him saying that. I remember on Al Show, I remember him saying that on Bill Maher, how Bill O'Reilly was basically his mentor. He said that on the Bill Maher show. I used to watch Bill Maher regularly before 2012. I probably saw every episode of Real Time with Bill Maher from the first episode through about 2011, 2012. I probably saw every single episode. I used to think that cracker liked us. But that's back when, like a lot of y'all, we believed there was still some, we understood racism existed. But that was before I got introduced to Neely Fuller Jr. and was able to start seeing the system as clearly as Dr. Fuller breaks it down. I got introduced to Neely Fuller around 2012, 2013. And that's when I was able to see through motherfuckers like Bill Maher. But I saw on that show, Mark Lamoist Hill talked about being mentored by Bill O'Reilly. Do you think Bill O'Reilly is going to let someone loose in the media who's going to ultimately harm the system of white supremacy he benefits from the most? Hell no. Hell no. So, fuck Mark Lamont Hill, and fuck Gayle King, and fuck Oprah. Now I feel like watching Muppet Babies. Oh, bye-bye. Yeah. Animal was my nigga on Muppet Babies. Me first. And Animal was my nigga. I loved the Muppet Babies when I was a kid. So when I saw Gayle King, I immediately became a fan. I said, that bitch probably could play the piano. Someone asked, does anyone know if Bobby Hemitt is still living? Yes, to my knowledge, he is. Ali Hemitt, Bobby Hemitt's brother, is a regular here in the chat room. Shouts out to Ali Hemitt. He's a regular here in the chat room, and he told me, yeah, Bobby Hemitt is still alive, but I don't know the details. He's not in contact with the people. According to his brother, Bobby Hemitt has a woman that takes care of him, but he does not have any access to social media. Nor does he want access to social media. I just wish we could all show Bobby Hemitt how much we love him. Wouldn't that be dope? Because when Bobby Hemitt I've heard a lot of stories and struggles of Bobby Hemitt through people who knew him. When Bobby Hemitt was really doing his thing back in the 90s and early 2000s, Black society wasn't really on what it's on right now. And he would drive city to city and not really get paid like that. But it's a new, different class of black folks today. It's a whole new class of black people today that totally believe, and I'm not disrespecting those who were around back then. But truth be told, people like Dr. John Henry Clark, people like, what's his name? Not Dr. Clark, Dr. Ben, when he died with little money. You had a lot of people listening, but they weren't really supporting with the dough. There's a difference with black folks now these days. Black folks these days understand that you got to put money behind the movement. I just love and appreciate the way y'all bless me with Cash App donations. Y'all for real be hooking me up. So I know what y'all would do with Bobby Hemitt. And if Bobby Hemitt was still alive, I know what I'd be doing. I know how much I'd be supporting Bobby Hemitt financially if he were still out there teaching. But unfortunately, he taught at a time it wasn't enough black people putting money behind the movement. There were some doing it, and salute to those who were. It just wasn't enough of us. In my generation, we millennials, hell, I was in my 20s. I was in my teens. And he was teaching in basically New York and Georgia. I'm from LA. I didn't know. And truth be told, at the age of 22, 23, that's not where my consciousness was. But it's there now. So, Brother Ali Hemitt, if you listen to this later on, we miss you, Bobby Hemitt. And the people are out here right now. And if Bobby Hemitt ever got back to teaching, we will support you with our dollars. People like Bobby Hemitt, people like Phil Valentine, Dr. Delbert Blair, Dr. John Henry Clark, Dr. Ivan Van Sertima, Dr. Ben, Dr. Welsing. These are all people in their senior years. They should be living high off the hog, and we should be the ones supporting it. I know I Cash App Phil Valentine regularly. I'm not even in his class, but I'll still Cash App him. Oh, what's up, Ali? You in the chat room now? I'm just now seeing it. Ali in the chat room now. Salute to you, Ali. Yeah, I wish, man, if Bobby was out teaching right now, I'd pay $500 for a seat to see Bobby Hemitt right now. I don't care if that seat was in the back and I had to stand up because there's too many there. I'd drop $500 to see Bobby Hemitt right now. Bobby Hemitt should be getting Kevin Hart appearance fees. Every time Bobby Hemitt speak, he should know it's $250,000, $500,000 sitting there waiting on him everywhere he goes and speaks. Because that's how much he can charge, and those seats are sold out. Every black business that makes big money should be sponsoring that Bobby Hemitt tour. Bobby Hemitt should be a millionaire in 3 speeches. Salute to Bobby Hemitt. You were ahead of your time. You were here for us millennials. We weren't there when you were doing your thing the most, Bobby Hemitt, but we here now. We here now. I appreciate that, Miss Brown. What else y'all want to talk about? I can take. I'm not gonna be here too much longer, but let me go ahead and take a call. And this phone line, people, is only for the show. I've had a couple random calls on this phone line because I had Skype connected to my phone. I had to disconnect Skype from my phone. I put this number up for people to call in live during the show. And I got woke up a couple times like at 7 a.m. from people calling this number. So please don't call this number outside of the show. If you're watching a replay, watch the goddamn replay. Don't call in. The Skype has been disconnected from my phone anyway, so I won't hear it anymore. But I had it connected to my phone. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Doom, 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 doom. Stupid ass Skype ring. Ringing on my phone at 5:38 in the morning. Pacific Standard Time. What kind of shit? So, oh shit, somebody called in, but I hit decline by accident. Whoever that was calling in, call back. Okay, here we go. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Al, and calling from Hawaii.
Oh, Al from Hawaii. That's what's up. What's going on?
How are you? How are you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah, I only called because I just wanted to get your opinion or your view about the whole Juneteenth becoming a national holiday, and what your view on that was.
Juneteenth being a national holiday, just Joe Biden trying to pacify black people because we want reparations. So that's what the federal government does. We ask for tangibles. We ask for our fair share of taxes, and they want to give us a symbolic victory. Them doing Juneteenth was a political move to appease to appease the elderly black folks. They think that the young black people give a damn, and we really don't. So it's not going to go the way they think it's going to go. We see it as a slap in the face because we were celebrating Juneteenth anyway. We didn't need the federal government to approve it.
Right.
Like,
yeah, we celebrated
when I was at my last
a lot
job,
of black
I took
communities
Juneteenth off.
prior.
Go ahead.
So, go ahead.
I was saying at my last job, I took Juneteenth off myself. I didn't need them to approve it. But what were you about to say?
I was going to say, but you're, from what I understand, you're independent contractor now. You have like your own business.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
But even when I had a job, I would just use PTO. I wouldn't work on Juneteenth. I never needed the federal government to recognize my my heroes and my holidays. So them doing that,
right?
It's a cool. It's cool. I'm not going to fight against it. It's a day off. You know what I mean? I'm never going to fight a day off where you get paid. But I always told
you're not going to
look, I'll celebrate David Duke Day if it meant a day off work. But
but so you're not going to, obviously you wouldn't do the Candace Owens thing and kind of just poo-poo it because I don't know what her issue is, but
no. Candace Owens is someone who understands that she can get paid. There's a lot of money in black people saying what the white supremacists want to say but can't say. That's a whole industry. And people like Candace Owens understand that industry well. I personally, I'm not willing to be a part of that. That part pays a hell of a lot more money than my side of the game, but it's fake. So I don't know. I'm not going to go that far as her.
What you mentioned is precisely a point I've made to some other people, and that is, if you notice these so-called black conservative figures, they're largely media figures. They're all big people who have their own podcast, their own talk show, their own radio show. They're not people that have any viable place in black communities. Like, they're not even political figures, really.
They're not. The
way it's set up, they're only set up to be these media personalities. Like, it's not like, say, a Rick Santorum who winds up on CNN being a commentator. That guy served in Congress.
Yeah. You're right. It's not Michael Steele.
Right.
You know, Michael Steele was somebody who actually served the Republican National Committee, and he brought them back.
Right. He ran the party. Yeah.
He ran the party, and he got them credible enough. He got them strong enough again to where they could win in 2016. Now, he got kicked out of 2012, but he set them in the right direction. He's not like what's his name? Herman Cain. Herman Cain was a businessman, and with a conservative point of view. Outside of Herman Cain and Michael Steele, these are paid operatives who do this because they know that's where the money is. It's fake, it's disingenuine, and when people understand that, they'll stop giving them credibility.
Right. That's a good point you bring up, because if you notice that the few black politicians that are Republicans, they're never media personalities. They never, I mean, Steele, he's on MSNBC. He was smart enough to kind of move into another direction. And he won that. He became the head of the party because I think the guy he was running against was Blackwell or something, who was, I think, Secretary of State in Ohio, and would have been probably suspect because of what he was doing in regards to George W. Bush's election, or what was going on in Ohio. But I think that's a good point that you bring out, because that's what I notice, is that these figures are media personalities. They're media. They don't have any. First of all, they don't have any that I can see. They don't have any tangible connection to black communities.
Nope.
Actual black communities.
Nope.
And this is true of Republican candidates too, right? Like, you're in LA, right?
Yes.
And you had Maxine Waters. What I noticed with some of these districts is they take these Republicans, and these individuals are, again, it's the same thing. People with really little to no connection, or if they have a connection, it's an odd connection.
Or usually,
like the guy that went against her. Go ahead.
Like, in the case of someone like a Maxine Waters, because I'm in her district, and I did not vote for her twice. But I remember Maxine Waters when I was a child. You have people like Maxine Waters who got credibility within us for doing some real shit. Like, she exposed Oliver North and the whole Iran-Contra scandal, getting his money from crack on the streets of L.A. And she was a person that outed Oliver North and gave voice to Gary Webb's work. So she had the credibility back in 1986, 1987. What happens is that one real moment then gets financed into 30, 40 years of equity of nothing. You know, so that you have
that's a good point.
Yeah, so she can always point back to what she did back in 1986. Right. But what can you point to that you've done since you've had your position in Congress? And that's nothing.
You know, I think that's a general point for a lot of politicians. But in general, I think a specific one that you make to Maxine Waters and others, like, she was in the state assembly in California prior to her going to Congress.
Yes.
So she may have had some advocacy there, and that was a foundation. But once you go to Congress, you gotta play to pay.
Yep.
You know, you have to play the game, and you see this with the Justice Democrats and the Progressive Caucus. Like, you know, you could say whatever you want when you're trying to get elected, but once you go to Congress, you can't do whatever it is that you want to do. You have to go along to get along, because that's just the way that a legislative body.
Yep.
Technically, in the case of Congress, bicameral legislature, two-house legislature, works. You cannot just go and think that you're gonna. I mean, you could state all the rhetoric you want, but you have to be able to get along. And some people may say that's selling out. Actually, it's the reality of playing the game. But I think your description is a very good one. But like I said, with the right-wing personality, these black conservatives, it's just fundamentally they exist really for audiences that are not black anyway. I saw a little of Owen's show, and I saw the audience, and the audience was largely Caucasian people.
You hit the nail on the head.
And it's like, go ahead, sorry.
I say you hit the nail on the head. That's exactly what they're there for. They're there to pander to Caucasians.
That's the best representation that I can see. I mean, if you need a representation, and a recent statement about Juneteenth is, again, silly because you're disrespecting a historical event for no reason. There was no reason for her to do that. Other than, even by the standards that you mentioned, there was no reason to do that. It just shows how little respect she has for not only other black people, but in a general overall community. Like, when you think about it from a practical standpoint, it's not a smart idea to put that down because it's significant, right?
Yep.
I mean, what's the next thing she's going to go and say, we need to, the 14th Amendment, that's a waste of time. No, we need to get that removed.
What makes Maxine Waters valuable to the dominant society now is that she'll use all of her black equity to push LGBTQ rights and immigration rights. And that's what she's there for now. And if she doesn't go along with that plan, she'll be out too. But yeah, thank you for the call. I want to get to the next caller, man. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these motherfuckers in office ain't shit. This how I always knew Alexandria, what's her name? Alexandria Horse Teeth. The one that looked like, or Alexandria Cortez, what the fuck her name is. They trying to make her seem like she's some rebel, that she is just from outside. Look, man. How is it then as a rookie congressperson, she got put on the House Financial Services Committee? You is it? How did...
Hello?
Hold on one second, caller. I'm going to get to you 1 second. Alexandria, can you turn me off in the background? Please mute me, please, in the background. Alexandria Cortez, soon as she got in office, she was placed on the House Financial Services Committee. Put it like this, when people who are really about the people, they're never going to get on the Financial Services Committee. Congress is going to put them on the Post Office Committee. If someone just happened to get in office that they didn't want in office and they made it by mistake, by hook or by crook, got in office, I can guarantee you they will never be on the House Committee of Financial Services. That is too important of a committee to go to somebody who's a loose cannon. So when I saw she got put on that committee right away, I said, Alexandria Horseface, she part of the game, and she part of the Financial Services Committee. Now, if they said we're going to put her on the committee to clean up all the dog shit in rural communities, then you'd be like, okay, yeah, she probably is the real deal. They put her over there. They ain't going to do shit. But what's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yes, my name is Delano L. I'm calling from Niagara Falls, New York. One of your biggest fans, sir.
I appreciate it. Niagara Falls. God damn. I want to go to that motherfucker one day.
Yeah, if you're ever in the Falls, man, hit me up. But I'm calling regarding the Juneteenth. I was at the bank, which is Kitty Corner from City Hall, and they were having a Juneteenth celebration. Mind you, they were taking down the gay pride flag, and they were putting up the Juneteenth flag.
Uh-huh.
And it just occurred to me, did they have this already planned out? Because it was only like 2 or 3 days after the holiday was passed.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of reminded me of when the Black Lives Matters first hit, and then the T-shirts were out like 2 days later.
Great point.
You know, and I just wanted I guess it's a two-part question, but it's a one question. How do you feel about that as far as it being planned ahead of time, and what in specific is the benefit of them making a flag? Like, they have a whole Juneteenth flag, and that's my question, sir.
Thank you for the question. I'll tell you, I'll give you an answer. One, the purpose of them making a flag is for them to claim the territory that we occupy. When you create the flag, you now own the message behind that flag. You own what that flag represents. So when they create a flag, that means they can then tell you what that flag means. You know what I'm saying? So
yes,
now when they create a new flag, they can say this flag is all inclusive of LGBT. See, for right now, they removed the gay flags. Next year, the year after that, the gay flag stays. And this Juneteenth flag is all inclusive of the liberation of the slaves and the liberation of gay people during Pride Month that was signed, that was made official by the black president Obama back in 2014. You see how they make these chess moves?
I do.
That's it. Because I was on that same thing with the Black Lives Matter. When Black Lives Matter came out, this was before Teespring and these drop shipping websites became a thing where you can have stuff all over the country overnight. This was back when you still had to get T-shirts printed and distributed to the people. And how did all them goddamn T-shirts appear on Crenshaw and in Harlem and in Seattle and in Texas on the same goddamn night? That lets you know it was probably controlled opposition. And you know the government does not move this fast because nobody was talking about Juneteenth as a national holiday as recent as Memorial Day. Now all of a sudden they got flags and it's done. They been planning on this. This was supposed to be Joe Biden's big old thing to show that he cares about Black America. That's what this is about. But we smart enough to know he full of shit and we see right through it. But
thank you for your time.
Thanks for giving us a call,
sir.
man. I'm going to get the next call. Thanks, brother.
Yes, sir.
What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Dwan, what's up, bro?
What up? What's your name?
Juma. I'm calling. I'm Juma. I'm calling from the Valley.
Oh, I see that A1A. Oh, yeah. You know, you in that hot-ass valley. What's up, brother?
Yeah, I need to move up out this damn valley. It's too hot out here.
Hot as fuck. I saw the devil picking cotton. I saw the devil picking cotton on Balboa Boulevard 2 weeks ago. Fuck that. But go ahead.
Yeah. But the one I want to speak about, I want to go a little off topic because it's something that I see every day in terms of police brutality and what's going on with Villanueva and the sheriff department and how they're allowed to have these gangs, the executioners, the banditos, and the jump out boys that basically run rampant in the community, in the hood. They're allowed to kill black and brown. They're allowed to have these gangs where if you kill somebody black or brown, then you initiate it into the sheriff gang. Mm-hmm. And I just want to speak on that. The Lost Hills sheriff station where they took them crash photos of Kobe Bryant and shared them around, their friends and family. And all Villanueva did was gave them a slap on the wrist and said that all they had to do was delete the photos off of their phones, like, a slap on the wrist. Mm-hmm. Now, mind you, the Lost Hills Sheriff Department is the same sheriff department that still can't explain what happened to Mitrice Richardson, who they arrested for apparently disorderly conduct in Malibu, and mm-hmm. And then they let her out with no cell phone, no purse at 2-3 in the morning, and then her body was found months later, and they still haven't explained that. So my thing, Dwan, is, it's a lot of police brutality. We can't ignore it. We can't look away from it. As far as how LA is becoming gentrified, and now the LAPD is treating us like we are foreign nationals in our own city. And, every 5 minutes they own us. We can't drive down Crenshaw without the police being on us. Like we, in the wrong for being in our own city. And so, I want to speak on the police state and how I see it as becoming more hostile.
You're right, and
I see it becoming.
You're right. Like
yeah, go ahead, Dwan.
If you look back into, I think either January or February, I did a full breakdown of all of the internal gangs within the LA Sheriff Department.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go back and look at that video.
Yeah, the amount of gangs within the police department, it's over 20 gangs within the Sheriff Department.
Yeah.
And the Jump Out Boys, yeah, you're right. They killed, I think the brother's name was Francisco Guarardo last year in the gang initiation killing.
Andres Guardado.
Yeah. Over here in Gardena, that murder happened about a mile and a half from where I live, and I'm sensitive to it because my brother's a LA County sheriff. One of my best friends is from India. He's an LA County sheriff, and my boy from India, he gave me the best perspective on this. My man, like from India, he was one of my best friends. We went to middle school and high school together. He only hung around us black dudes. Like his core of friends was three black dudes. We was just a crew. We always hung out. So he knew black society from us. So when he went and became a sheriff, I'll never forget what he said about 2 weeks in. He was about 2 weeks into patrol duty, and he was on duty in that same division that killed that brother that Mexican brother last year in the gang initiation.
Yeah.
And he gets to be a fly on the wall because he's not black. And so he said when we're in the locker room, all they do is talk about black people. The Mexican guy, and he didn't get it. He was like, I was like, yeah, that's what they do. He's like, but they're not white. These are the Asian cops and the Mexican cops. All they do is they take numbers on how many black people they beat up today, abused, violated their rights. And he was befuddled because he did not understand racism. I would talk to him about racism before that. He didn't get it. He thought America was a land of opportunity. But within 1 week of being an LA County Sheriff officer, he got it right away. And that's what we're dealing with. We are, as black Americans, we are as Angelenos, native Los Angeles folks, we have always had an occupying force in our neighborhoods. My family has been in LA going up on 100 years. Going back to the first people came from my family. The first members of my family came from Michigan to LA during the 1920s. So we've been dealing with this shit generationally here, and I see like that's part of the reason why
And the Compton Sheriff Department killed Dante Taylor, and they had to pay the family out over $7 million for that murder. They killed their brother. And
speaking on the Compton Sheriff, when it was a Compton PD, they raped. I had her on, Jayla, the self-esteem queen. I had her on about a year ago. Look up that interview.
Okay.
She talks about being raped by the Compton PD while they were on duty, and that led to the Compton PD being disbanded and replaced by the Compton Sheriff. But do you know, 2 weeks ago, the city of Compton filed a lawsuit. No, a month ago now. The city, I'm putting it up right now. I'm glad you brought that up. Lawsuit. I'm gonna pull it up right now and put it on screen. The city of Compton is suing the LA County Sheriff Department for not fulfilling its contracts, because what they're doing is the Sheriff Department in the end of the lawsuit.
City of Compton is taking legal action against the LA County Sheriff's Department.
They're accusing the Sheriff Department of putting ghost cars out. Basically, the contract says, I'm just gonna throw a number out there, 10 cars are supposed to be out on any given night. What they're doing is they're putting out 6 cars that got patrol officers in it and another 4 off cars that's just sitting out there with nobody in it. They're billing the city for time they're not fulfilling their duties. So the city of Compton is filing a lawsuit against the sheriff department now. That's how dirty these son of a bitches are. Yeah, but you're right about that.
Bitches is dirty, Dwan.
Yeah, here in LA, we dealing with that's why I always look at people from other parts of the country. Y'all, people from other parts of the country see all this sunshine and palm trees and think, oh, they can't be dealing with racism. No, we in LA deal with the absolute most sophisticated form of racism. So people from other parts of the country better listen to us because they always start the bullshit here. Gang injunction laws started in LA, California. 3 strikes laws started in California. All these laws, the right to live law, I forgot the right, I'm drawing a blank to the name of the law. But basically the law that says if a police officer kills someone in the commission of a crime and you're with the person that got killed, you can be charged for that murder, not the police officer.
Yeah, you can be charged.
That shit all started right here. So when people want to look at all the palm trees and all that shit and think y'all got it good in LA because our projects ain't as ugly as the projects in New York, y'all can kiss our collective ass. We deal with this shit crazy out here.
On the daily. And the thing about it is, when you talk about how the sheriff department, it's not just the sheriff department because the LAPD murdered Ezell Ford and was able to get away with it. They basically killed his brother in cold blood and was able to justify get away with it. So
look, not only Ezell Ford, I didn't know Ezell Ford, but I know about 10 people who did know Ezell Ford. I never met the brother, but I know at least 10 people who knew him. And from all I heard, he was a good brother that was minding his own goddamn business and got killed. But not
minding
just
his own business. Yeah.
So you have but shit. Not only do you have the sheriff department and the LAPD, I'm a one up you. What about when the CHP? I got a homeboy, Mark Jones, who I know who was a comedian. He used to do comedy with me, Craig, Big Ja. He used to do all the same shows with us. He was a very peaceful, calm brother who just had a baby.
At the Comedy Union on Pico?
Yep. He used to perform there all the time on my show. As a matter of fact, my first time ever headlining a show was a show that he threw at the Ha Ha and had me headline. That brother was minding his own business during the coronavirus last May, got pulled over. The police said he acted violently and they killed him. The CHP.
Come on, Dwan, are you serious, brother?
The fuck is the CHP doing killing people? It's your job to give tickets and clean up accidents. They killed the brother on the freeway. He had a new baby.
Damn.
Mark was one of the nicest brothers, calm brothers I ever met in my life. But I'm going to one-up you even more. The Gardena Police Department. The reason why...
Oh, yeah, come on.
The undersheriff, Tanaka, that's in jail right now for obstruction of justice from the sheriff. His brother, Tanaka, was the mayor of Gardena who covered up the Gardena PD murdering black folks. So we get it all around here, brother. Is
that the same Tanaka that wrote that bad report on Christopher Dorner? And Christopher Dorner went on one. Yeah, the same one, exactly.
Same Tanaka.
But Tanaka ain't innocent. It ain't innocent. He ain't innocent because his name keep coming up in bullshit. Now, I never believed that Christopher Dorner was crazy. I believed that there was some truth in what he was saying about the racism that was going on in the LAPD and how they tried to silence this brother and bullied him into thinking that he was crazy. And then he finally snapped on their ass. But Tanaka, you just mentioned that name, and that's just what brought that back up because I remember he was one of the investigators that was supposedly have wrote this bold report on Dorner.
Yep, and I know Dorner. I said this on my live last week in that Dorner manifesto. He mentioned this officer named Officer Tingarides. I met that bitch. Her and her white husband. They came under my goddamn job on some shit. Hey, the police aren't as bad as you think. And I had a very negative interaction with them. And I told them, I believe Dorner now based on my interaction with you.
Exactly. I believe Dorner.
But thank you for the call, brother.
Yeah, brother. It was cool talking to you, Dwan. I'm going to keep on checking out the show and supporting the channel, man, because you touch on the topics that that we want to talk about, that at least I want to talk about.
Yeah, man, we gotta keep it going.
On supporting the show, bro.
I appreciate it. Feel free to call in anytime, my brother.
Okay, my brother.
All right, have a good one.
You too, man.
Yeah, whoever that was calling from 504, you called a couple times. Call back. Oh, I think it's them right here. I can only answer one call at a time. This thing ain't got no switchboard. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's up, Dwan? What's up? This Herb Saint, man, in your chat. I'm calling from the Louisiana, New Orleans area, man.
Oh, that's what's up. Louisiana, New Orleans. What's up, brother? What's on your mind?
Man, it's an honor to speak to you, brother. You're a modern day griot. I mean, you're a storyteller. You tell the truth, and you go from so many different perspectives, brother. I just wanted to let you know that what you're doing is some good work. And, if anybody else out there listening, you should support him any way you can. I know I do give my little ducats when I can, brother, because I appreciate it. I really do. I listen to you, and a lot of the connecting ties that you deliver, blow my mind. And I consider myself a learned person. So, but you always can learn. You can always learn, and you teach each and every day. And like I said, you take your time from your family and the things you're doing to teach your people. And enough can't be said about that. But one thing I wanted to touch on when you were talking about, these people that move in different spaces, I just caught that part when you were talking about your friend who works for the sheriff department.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a good friend that he lived down here in the South, and he's white and Asian, and he's a mix of things, right? So he can blend in a lot of communities. Me and him are co-workers. So one day I asked him, because we talk about race and everything, and I feel like if you have a friend and you can't talk about race and stuff, they ain't your friend, first of all.
Real talk.
But yeah, so me and him talked, and he was saying he go hunting with these white guys or whatnot, and he says, I asked him, I said, when you're around them, how often do they talk about black folks? He said, man, all the time. And it surprised me, but it didn't. And I want our people to know that these people are always thinking about us, even when we're not around them. Mm-hmm. So we got to keep that mindset, right? We're always on their minds, always, constantly. Because I said, when you're around your black friends, because he has a lot of black friends, he went, just to hang out with brothers, going to clubs or whatnot. He used to go to black clubs. He liked black music. So he's like, when you was around black folks, did they talk about white people all the time? He said, no. He said, we always was just kicking it, laughing, having a good time. I said, yeah, it is. So I just want our people to know that. You know what I'm saying?
That's real talk. That is real talk. They, you're right. They're preoccupied with us. They're but that's the thing. White identity is tied to not being black. There's no affirmative identity for being white. Whiteness is and always has been not black. So they have to always talk about how bad we are to affirm themselves psychologically. We got to remember as a people that we haven't created this mess. We're living their reality. And as long as we continue to acquiesce to their reality, it's going to continue to happen. As brothers like you, the brother who just called in, seeing things what it is, as we see the reality for itself and we assume our own identity and live that, they have no choice but to step aside. Like what Dick Gregory started to say, if it's darkness in a room, you don't have to fight the darkness, you turn the light on. And the light is truth and information. We live this reality subordinate to them because we believe what they say about us. We believe the lies, so we walk around hunched over so they can walk on our back. A platform like this is to put the information out there so we get enough information, enough truth about us, about who we are and about who they are, so we stand up. Because the minute we stand up and show them how to treat us, they can't do a goddamn thing about stopping it. It's like the NBA. They can talk all the shit they want, but you put the best white boy who ever existed out there on the court one-on-one against Kevin Durant, and that shit gonna be barbecue chicken. I don't give a good goddamn how much of a legend that white boy is. He can't touch Kevin Durant. And that's the gap between us socially with them in all areas of activities when we're on our square. So we right. We got to know that. And to all them niggas that we are our own worst enemy, we need to do better. White folks, shut your ass up. Because if you like this brother on the phone, if you knew them, if you understood them, you'd never run around telling black folks what white folks ain't doing. You know, hell, if we doing it, they doing it times 1,000.
Time 1,000. There it is. Time 1,000. They you know, and probably already thought about it, you know, or like you said, they already done it. They're doing it. So you got to be aware. Just be aware. You know, that's one thing I want. That's message, and you cover all those bases, brother. So I appreciate you. That's why I called in.
I appreciate you calling in, man. You call in anytime you want, man. Have a good one.
For sure, man. Peace.
Peace. Yeah, black folks, we got to know who we are. They spend all day preoccupied with what's going on with us. Black folks minding our own goddamn business, doing what the fuck we do. And they can't help but talk about us. This is going to be the last call right here. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's up, Dwan? This is Lorenzo. I'm calling from Aurora, Colorado.
Oh, shit, Aurora, Colorado. What the fuck are you doing out there?
Yeah, I've been out here ever since, like, the 90s, man. I came out here from middle school. My step-pops was in the Air Force, and after college, I came back out here.
You OG out there. Okay, I get it. What's going on, brother?
Man, I just wanted to share a story that happened to me yesterday. Just yesterday, I'm taking my son to go fishing. We at the gas station. This white dude sitting at the pump. You know, all the pumps are full. This white dude sitting at the pump not pumping gas for like 5-6 minutes go by. So my son, he asks the dude, can we get some gas? The dude tells my son, fuck you. The white dude says, fuck you to my 11-year-old son, right? So I'm like, hey, man, don't talk to my son like that. He like, fuck you. What you gonna do about it? You want to fight? So I'm like, well, shit, what's up? So this dude pulls out a gun, points it at me and my son, right, at the gas station. So he's like, well, say something now, motherfucker. So then he gets in his car, he drives off. I get his license plate. I called the shit in to the police to report this shit. Look how these race soldiers protected this dude. They gonna tell me I was confused. Maybe he wasn't pointing it directly at me. Just because he brandished a gun doesn't necessarily mean there was anything wrong with what he did. Now, if I would have done the same thing, my ass would have been on the news right now.
Man. Wow. So he pulled the gun out at your son. And at
me and my 11-year-old son.
And you called the police, and they basically said you didn't see what you saw.
Exactly. And when I told them that it was all caught on surveillance at the gas station, they went into the gas station and told me, well, everything that I described, it didn't look the same way on video. They did see the gun, but it looked like my son was being confrontational because my son asked the dude, can we get some gas? And the 11-year-old was being confrontational with a grown man.
Wow.
Yeah, man. It's a system.
That's why I always tell people, like, look, you're in Aurora, Colorado. There are people out there in this country that live in other parts of the country that would say, man, you don't really know what racism is, man. It's beautiful in Colorado. Look, people, racism, white supremacy rears its ugly head everywhere in this country. From Culver City to Colorado to Compton to Charlotte. Like, with the police question, were you able to escalate it to a supervisor?
Well, the police said that they're going to investigate it. If they caught the guy that day, which they and that's the thing, in their the computer laptop, they brought the dude's information up because I had his license plate, so the Department of Motor Vehicle was linked with them, so they had his picture and everything. They told me that if they were able to get him that day, I would hear back from one of them. If not, an investigator would get onto the situation, and they gave me like a victim's phone number to call on a card. But basically, they're not going to do anything. They're too busy trying to protect this white dude and keep him from getting any criminal charges.
And they know his home address. They know where he lives. They have his license plate number. He probably has a jacket, too. If he's done that to you, he probably did somebody else. Yeah, they're protecting him. So is Colorado a state that you can carry?
Yeah, you can carry, but I don't even think this guy was legally carrying. I mean, of course, I don't know if he had a license to conceal carry, but yeah, just the way he upped that gun, I don't think it's legal to just brandish a gun and point it in somebody's face whenever they're not threatening you directly, and you were the one who initiated the conversation regarding fighting. He's the one that brought that up, not me.
Wow.
I just want to gas.
See, brother, that's why, man, the only thing you can do is make sure that you have your thing on you legally, because
exactly
we're behind enemy lines.
And this is the same city where they killed the brother Elijah McClain not too long ago. The Aurora Police Department shot him up with ketamine, talking about he was too hyper or something. They shot him up with that drug and killed the brother. He was only 90 pounds, 21 years old, 90 pounds, and they shot him up with that shit and killed him.
Wow. See, yeah, that's the system that we in. And you did the right thing, brother. We behind enemy lines. For all you jackasses that be out there, see, if that happened to me, you wouldn't have done shit. So I don't want to hear none of that. The brother did what he had to do. He got home with his children, safe. And that's what means the most in a situation like this. The fact that you got home safe. Now moving forward, what kind of the police department you're dealing with. So it's just one of those things where you're going to have to make sure that, you make sure you have fun and keep all your toys around, if you dig what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Always keep
That's
your
one thing
Tonka
I learned.
trucks. Never lose that spirit
Exactly.
of a child. Keep your Tonka truck.
Exactly.
All right, brother. You have a good one, man.
Thank you. You
yes,
too.
Sir.
Peace.
See. The system of white supremacy. That's what we mean when we talk about the system of white supremacy. White man gets to goddamn carry a gun and point it. I had a similar situation happen to me. That's it for the phone calls for today. Thank y'all for calling in. I'm going to wrap it up in a little bit. I got a few more things to say before I wrap it up. I remember when I worked at the bank in Inglewood. I worked at a bank. There was a shooting that happened in front of the bank right before I started work. Some dude walked up to a car on Locust Street. Y'all know where Locust is. In Inglewood. Locust and Manchester. I'm working at that Washington Mutual Bank. It's nothing there now, but it used to be a Washington Mutual Bank. I saw someone pull out a gun and shoot at someone in the car. Person drives off. I don't know if they ended up dead or not. I ran my ass inside. Well, since I work at the bank, they made me report the shooting. They made me report the shooting to the Inglewood Police Department. And when I called the Inglewood PD to let them know what I had just witnessed, I had the most hostile, angry motherfucker on the other side of the phone. You would think that I smashed his musty ass wife the way he was talking to me. He was like, "So you mean someone pulled out a gun and shot someone right in front of you and he's not dead?" I said, "Motherfucker, I don't know if he dead or not. I ran my ass inside. I'm only calling because my job is making me call y'all motherfuckers." And they treated me like so much shit for reporting a shooting that I was made to report. And that happened when I was 19. When I was 19, my brother's a cop at that point. One of my best friends is going into the Sheriff Academy. I wasn't where I am right now as far as my point of view with the police. I never thought they were all good, but I didn't think they were as bad as they are right now. After that incident, I said, okay, all right, these motherfuckers really ain't shit, and they really don't care about the safety of our community. This is back when Inglewood was still all black, before gentrification. When black folks owned all those businesses, a lot of those businesses up and down Market Street and on Manchester right there in downtown Inglewood. These are those days. I said, oh, okay. That's what time it is. The elders weren't lying. Yeah. America, Jack. That was my introduction to shit being the way it is. Yeah, so I'm about to get up out of here. I'm getting on my barbecue grill in a little bit, barbecuing some fish. I see that Vlad TV wants to pick up on our story at Craig Facts with Kevin McCall and talk about Kevin McCall's reaction, but they chose not to talk about how we as black men settled the story. Salute to brother Kevin McCall. A man that's made mistakes, but doing his best to reconcile those mistakes. As a black man, my arms are always open. My mind is always open to the black man's story. We're always taught to look at black men who have adverse situations in one way. We never want to hear the story. Watch both episodes of Craig Facts last week with Kevin McCall, the first episode and the second, as he tells his story. Don't just go to the drama part that Vlad TV, Media Takeout, and World Star Hip Hop wants to push. Non-foundational black American media and white media. You see how they do us? World Star Hip Hop, Caribbean shit. Media Takeout, African shit. Vlad TV, Russian shit. All people who aren't from the soil but make their money on the soil only want to talk on the drama coming from the soil, yet refuse to acknowledge the roses that grow from the drama. The roses from that episode grew 10 minutes after the controversy. All you got to do is keep watching. But these people who aren't from here want to make their money on those of us who are in the most negative way possible. That's why us as foundational black Americans, we have to stand up for ourselves. We got to speak loudly for ourselves because these people don't give a fuck about us. Whether it be the non-foundational black American, Caribbean, and African immigrants, or the domestic coons that are appointed by white society, like Mark Lemoyce Hill and Gayle Dogface King. These people don't give a fuck about us, but only want to talk when things go wrong. We got to be louder than them. We got to speak up for ourselves unapologetically, without mincing words. We can't let motherfuckers like this dick sucker right here be the voice of Black America. Mark Lamont Hill is more concerned with getting pineapple flavored jizz getting skeeted in his nose than he is the betterment of Black society. Gayle King is preoccupied with bags of marshmallows and stuff in her jaws before she speaks. Shut up and play the piano, bitch. These are the people we have speaking for us. These are the people, quote unquote, representing us. And they don't give a fuck about us. Don't judge a man by his lowest point, especially a Black man. Never judge a Black man by his lowest point. Or a Black woman, Black person. We need to look at our own people and look at the arc of their story. Yes, they may have started here, but where are they now? Yes, they may have done these things in the past, but what are they doing now to right those wrongs? Have compassion. Black folks need to have the compassion for other Black people that we have for white folks. For those who are trying. For those who don't harm us in the big picture. See, we can't forgive your Oprahs. We can't forgive Oprah with her new show on Black men. We can't forgive Gayle because they literally make it their job to undermine us for their personal benefit. That's where I separate myself from other Black people. Those who take money to promote themselves at the expense of the rest of us. I side with the victims of these media attacks. Because they attack these brothers at their lowest point, yet refuse to acknowledge their progress and what they've done to fix their wrongs. Like hoe-ass Vlad TV. Vlad, why don't you call Kevin McCall down to tell his story instead of pointing out a low point? Why don't you call Craig and Craig Facts, call Craig and Brandon down to the show to explain how we took that low situation and made it better. But nah, you won't do that. Because you don't fuck with Black people like that. You just take what you can get for your personal enrichment and march your goofy ass on back to your house in Calabasas, bitch. Fuck you, Vlad. And any nigga that worked for you that put the headline up about Kevin McCall without acknowledging how everything was worked out. You sorry bitch. I personally don't watch Vlad no more. I used to watch Vlad a lot. But I stopped watching that whole motherfucker. I stopped watching him. After the whole Lord Jamar thing. I done deleted the channel. And if I get a notification on YouTube, I report it. We, as black people, we on our own. We on our own. We have no friends. But I got to get going with the rest of my day. Y'all remember this. There are no perfect messengers, only perfect messages for those who are willing to pick up the game. Get my live drum sample packs now, music producers. Hit my Cash App. Shit, it was my birthday last week. I'm not done celebrating if y'all ain't done donating. Hit the Cash App. I'll see it right there. My name is Dwan B. Get the t-shirts also. Let me see right here. So, y'all see the t-shirts. I got some new t-shirts coming soon. But if you ain't got your reparations now, snapback and t-shirt, get it. Hotepish.com/apparel. Thank y'all again for joining us. We out.